Welcome fans into Crete, Nebraska for Doane University Athletics and Great Plains Athletics Conference Athletics right here on the Doane Sports Network. We are live now with all three mats. Apologize for the delay. So we're underway. Most of our matches are still in the first match. You got Vargas of Doane against Pimentel of Midland on mat 1. On mat 3, Evadissian of Doane and Goebel of Jamestown. And then mat 2, which is our second match, which is Braun and Walters. Braun of Northwestern, Walters of Morningside. One match already complete, and that was Benjamin Schmitz of Morningside defeating Grant Wells of Concordia by pinfall. That was a mat 2 match. So as you cut up, we're early on here in the 2023 Great Plains Athletic Conference Men's Wrestling Championships from Fear Fieldhouse, Fred Biley Arena on the campus of Doane University. With our live stream, you can scan the QR code that is on your screen. That'll take you to the Track Wrestling website, right to the GPAC Championship page. Evadissian of Doane on mat 3, leading 11-0. Vargas of Doane on mat 1, leading 11-2. And he'll win that one 11-2, 12-2 with the riding time bonus point. So Vargas moves on to the quarterfinals at 125. That's the only match at 125 to open things up. So everybody else had a bye. Might have a track wrestling issue over on mat 1, as on the website it's not updating. So I see it getting looked at over on that mat, but Vargas wasn't a 12-2 winner on that mat. Evadissian is going to win for Doane. He'll win 12-0. Evadissian into the quarterfinals. Right now on mat 2, Cade Braun of Northwestern, Nicholas Walters of Morningside. Morningside's Walters in front 4-1. Mat 1, it looks like it's going to be Saran Watson of Briarcliff and Christian Mazel of Hastings. Mat 3, Ethan Cray of Briarcliff and Johnny Burnett of Northwestern. So right now we have final match of 133 for the opening round on mat 1, and 2 matches from 141 on mats 2 and 3. So Walters up 6-1. on mat 2. Watson with the takedown, looking for the pin on mat 1. Brazil trying to bridge out. And Watson with the pin. So he'll advance. So our quarterfinals are set in the 133 bracket. Walter's gonna win on mat 2. I believe that one ends up 8-1.
Start. Let's keep it rolling. Get her down already. Good.
So again, mat 3 has Ethan Cray of Briarcliff, Johnny Burnett of Northwestern. Mat 2. Nate Lent of Doane. Sidoris of Concordia. Appears to be the matchup coming up on mat 2. And over on mat 1, you have Zach Zytek of Dakota Wesleyan and Creighton Bauman of Concordia. Lent with the takedown on mat 2. Bauman of Concordia leading on mat 1. And Gray of Briarcliff leading on mat 3. Gray with a solid lead over at mat 3, leading 6-2. Has top control. Bauman of Concordia leading 2-0. He's got top control right now. Gonna roll up over 2 minutes in the first period for riding time. And on mat 2, our middle mat, we have Nate Lent and Javen Skidoris of Concordia. Still neutral after a little roll around. Lent looking to stay on the head. He's gonna get taken down. Skidoris taking the lead. Mat 3 is in the third period. Mat 1 in the second period. Mat 2 in the first. 15 seconds left in the first period on Mat 2. And you have your clock and score in your top right-hand corner. Clock issue on Mat 2. Make sure they get the riding time and everything corrected. So Cray picks up the win over on Mat 3. He wins it 9-2, collecting a point on riding time. Bauman with a sizable lead over on Mat 1, 11-0. Skidoris has taken a 5-2 lead on Lent, the top seed at 149. Noah Parmalee and Stephen Miranda on the mat at Mat 3. Bauman will pick up the win on Mat 1. So the quarterfinals are set at 144, or excuse me, at 141. I think we have a medical timeout for Lent. And actually blood also for Skidoris. Medical timeout was for Skidoris. That probably favors Lent a little bit just because he's been grabbing at one of those legs a little bit here in this second period. So Lent with the escape and gets the takedown. So a big turnaround on Mat 2. Following the blood timeout, as Lent, who is down 5-2, the referee took away the escape point. So that does not help Lynn tie it up on mat 2. So he'll remain down a point going into the final period. On mat 1 now, at 165, we have Isaiah Burks of Concordia and Cody Hahn of Midland. Burks jumping out early, 2-0 lead. Again, Parmalee and Aranda in action on mat 3. Right now our focal match is mat 2. And Lent with the takedown. Now looking for the pin. And he gets it. Lent, who was down 5-2, the top seed, with a comeback in the third, late in the second, to pick up the pin and to move on. So on mat 1 right now, it's Burks leading 4-1. On mat 2, Parmalee is leading Aranda 2-0. And on mat 2, we have the number 2 seed from Morningside, John Diener. Deegan Lynn of Jamestown is his opponent. Still neutral, now 2 points for Diener on mat 2. Hahn's going to take top control as they start the second on mat 1. Hahn of Midland, Burks of Concordia. Diener with the pin in 44 seconds. So our match on mat 3, which is Parmalee of Northwestern, Aranda of Midland, is the final match of 149. We have one match of 157, which will probably follow on mat 3. So on mat 2, looks like it is going to be Keenan Griffin of Hastings, Michael Scarponi of Doane. 174. First round match. Scarponi with the takedown on mat 2. Escape by Aranda on mat 3. And Burks with an escape on mat 1. Two of our matches on their feet. Scarponi looking for the rollover and pin, and he picks up the pin at 174. So they're going to go to the third period on mat 1 with Burks leading 8-3. We're in the third period, about 35 seconds left. Aranda trying to get the takedown of Parmalee, has a leg, trying to work to his back. And the takedown to Aranda. Riding time is in favor of Parmalee, so he's going to get a point there. Aranda going to try and hold off Parmalee, which would force overtime. Will roll through as time will expire. We're going to have overtime on mat 3. Sudden victory opportunity. First, looks like we're going to have a little bit of blood wiped off of Parmalee. Burke's leading 8-4. Looking for the single leg takedown. On trying to fight it off on mat 1. On mat 2, we have Tristan Rogers of Jamestown, Trevor Sagnas of Northwestern. Northwestern in the red singlet, Jamestown in the black. Mat 3 is the one to watch right now. So we go to overtime. Noah Parmalee had a lead late, but Aranda picked up the takedown. Parmalee's riding time picked up a point for him to force overtime. Rogers with the lead on mat 2. Burks up 12-4. Bill added a point of riding time, looking to ride it out. The final 10 seconds. Aranda and Parmalee has a leg. Aranda trying to work his way to the back though. Still neutral. This one could go either way at the moment. Parmalee step over and still not giving it. Now he is given the takedown. So Parmalee will win it. Quarterfinals are set at 149.
Nice job, Tristan. Go first.
We have Rogers leading 4-0 on mat 2.
Hey, how's it going? I don't think I need my hotel key while I'm out there, so I'm just gonna put this.
So on mat 1, we have Colton Horn of Midland. Jake Frankson Small is taking on Horn. He is up 2-0. On mat 3, it's Raymond Aranda going against Brody Hoverston. So Rogers leading Sagnes on mat 2, 6-0. Frankson Small with a 6-0 lead on mat 1. And on mat 3, Aranda with a 2-0 lead. So Northwestern fans, you have wrestlers on each mat at the moment. Midland fans, you have mats 1 and 3. And Jamestown, you have mat 2. Mat 2 is going to go to a third period. (13-1) lead on mat 1. 14-4 on mat 2. And 2-0 on mat 3. Frankson Small going to take away a point from Horn, so that'll be 13-0. Rogers, a 14-4 lead on mat 2, looking for the pin. We're going to have a stoppage on mat 2. With a tuck fall win for Rogers, 21-5. Going to go heavyweight on mat 2 now, with Brandon Antisberger of Doane, Matthew Johnston of Midland. Mat 1, Peyton Planaski of Dakota Wesleyan, Connor Wren of Midland. Miranda of Midland leading on mat 3, 7-1. On mat 2, Antisberger and Johnston. These two men have met several times over the last 3 years. Antisberger won their meeting in duels action back in December. Antisberger has a single leg. Johnson able to fight it off initially. And the two men will lock back up. They'll go out of bounds. They're going to call stalling on Antisberger. Rin with the lead on mat 1, the takedown. Miranda on mat 3, holding on to his lead as that one will wrap up. So 10-3 win for Aranda. On mat 3, Garrett Cornwell of Doane at 184, taking on Deontay Taylor of Jamestown. So now Doane with wrestlers on mats 2 and 3. Doane in the gray singlets. We have Midland on mat 1 and 2 in the orange singlets. So scoreless first period on mat 2. Johnston with top control to start the second period. And Antisberger with the reversal. Now an escape from Johnston. Back in December when these two met, it was Antisberger winning by pin in 1:44. This one has already gone to the second. Cornwell with a 2-1 lead on mat 3. And Rin leading 5-0 on mat 1. Seconds left in mat 2. 35 in mat 1, 35 in mat 3. Stalling penalty point awarded on mat 1. So Rinn leads 6-0 as they go to the third. Antisberger leading 2-1 as they go to the third on mat 2. And Cornwell leading 2-1 as they go to the second on mat 3. Cornwell with an escape on mat 3. Johnston with an escape on mat 2. And Rinn with top control on mat 1. Antisberger looking for the takedown. Stalemate on mat 2. Rinn maintaining control. Splansky trying to get the escape on mat 1, and he does. Now Johnston shoots. Antisberger trying to get to the back of Johnston, and he does. 44 seconds to go. Now looking to ride him out. Again, Antisberger did have a stalling call early in the match, so he cannot afford to give up a free point in that aspect, especially now that Johnston is within a point. .15 seconds to go. Johnston shoots. Antisberger will try to work to the back and gets the 2-point takedown. That should seal it now for Antisberger. The top seed at heavyweight will pick up the victory. On mat 2 now at heavyweight, Ian Howell of Jamestown, Hunter DeYoung of Morningside. DeYoung on top to get the first 2 points in that match. Cornwell holding on to a 3-2 lead on mat 3 from Doane. And now on mat 1 heavyweight is Trevian Sample of Dakota Wesleyan, Alton Allen of Briar Cliff. Rinn was a 11-1 winner on mat 1. That one just ended a few moments ago. So on mat 2, we have a close one between Cornwell and Taylor. Cornwell holding on to the 1-point lead as time is going to run out. Cornwell will advance. That completes the 184 bracket for the first round. $197, everybody advanced through as we only have 8 wrestlers there. So we got the heavyweights on the mat now. On mat 3, Lincoln Siebert and Cy Rennie. So Siebert of Northwestern, Rennie of Concordia. It's DeYoung of Morningside, Howell of Jamestown on mat 2, at DeYoung up 2-0. And on mat 1, it's Sample of Dakota Wesleyan, Allen of Briar Cliff. They're currently scoreless. So first period will end on mat 2 and mat 1. Scoreless on mat 1. DeYoung with the lead on mat 2. Big takedown by Siebert. Takedown over on mat 1 by Allen. Siebert with the win over on mat 3. So 2-2 on mat 1. DeYoung with a 10-0 lead and now picks up the pin on mat 2. And a takedown on mat 3 as we now have Juan Lugo of Briar Cliff. He's the one that had the takedown. Taking on Will Farron of Dakota Wesleyan. So we are in the quarterfinals at 125. On mat 3, Angel Garcia, Jacob Jarovic of Morningside, our final heavyweight match. To take the mat. So we got 2 heavyweights, and then our lightest weight, 125. Escape by Allen. Breaks the tie on mat number 1. Lugo with the victory at 125. And after our 2 heavyweight matches, all these mats will have quarterfinal action underway. Mat 3 is going to pit Taylor Vasquez and Jared Gilliam. Vasquez of Morningside, Gilliam of Briar Cliff. Vasquez with the quick takedown, or saw the official waving his hands. A takedown was given. No credit for an escape the way it looks. Now the takedown. So it's possible that there was not an initial takedown. Mat 1 is tied 3-3. Scoreless on mat 2. Vasquez has a 6-0 lead on mat 3. Now a 6-1 lead. On mat 3 now. Kavika Lay against Benjamin Schmitz. Angel Garcia, who has a big knee brace on. On mat 2, a little banged up there. See if he's able to keep going. So we got a review on mat 2. our first challenge on mat 2, which did result in 2 points given to Jerebeck. Our setup for our review system here for the GPAC Championships. I needed to step away there, so anytime stepping away, it's just to make sure things are working correctly on each mat or helping out behind the scenes. So bear with us if wondering what happens to the commentary. So right now on mat 1, you had Daniel Vargas of Doane, Bryce Carlin of Concordia. You had Sample of Dakota Wesleyan winning in overtime against Allen in that heavyweight matchup. So Sample advances on. Heavyweight match right now on mat 2, which is Jerebeck leading Garcia 3-0. Jerebeck the 2 seed. He's the final of the heavyweights in this opening round. And everything else is quarterfinal action. Mat 3 is tied 2-2. Vargas with a 9-2 lead on mat 1. Mahole with the lead on mat 3, or excuse me, on top on mat 3 in a 2-2 match. Vargas now leading 11-3. Mahole in position to get the pin, and he does. That's an upset, as Schmitz was the 4 seed. Vargas, the defending champion at 125, has a 14-3 lead on mat 1. Vasquez of Morningside, just saw him on mat 3 a little bit ago, picking up a pin. He's the defending champion at that weight class. A lot of our champions are back this year from last year's championships that were held up in Mitchell, South Dakota. Jerebeck leading 5-1 on mat 2. Now on mat 3 is Sean Haney of Northwestern and Saran Watson of Briar Cliff. And welcome back is and returning back to the microphone after a couple behind the scenes needs. Get you caught up. On mat 1, Bucksit of Midland with a 1-0 lead over Seth Inama of Briar Cliff. Mugen Matzek-Dorf of Dakota Wesleyan taking on Devin Evadissian of Doane. Evadissian with top control but trailing 2-1. And on mat 3, Saran Watson has a 10-1 lead over Sean Haney. Matzek-Dorf with a 5-1 lead in the second. Looking for the upset as Evadissian is the 4 seed. So on mat 2, Delay is trying to get the riding time corrected. Looks like we may have a check here, so you step away for a moment. And we're back. Again, dealing with stuff behind the scenes, so every once in a while, got to step away, help out on some of our camera work or our review potential issues that arise. Unfortunately, you can't leave our crowd mic on because it's situated in a spot that everybody's kind of gathered around, and well, there's just some stuff that's best left unheard. So on mat 2, a stalling was issued, or warning was issued, and penalty point awarded. So Avedisian now trailing 6-3. He does have the riding time, so he needs a takedown. On mat 1, Inama has taken a 9-2 lead after trailing 2-0 to start. And on mat 3, we now have Ethan Cray of Briarcliff leading 2-0 on Doan's Ben Miller. A big takedown. Avedisian is not going to be able to pull this one off. There's an upset going to happen at 133. So Inama of Briarcliff won 12-2. Boggy Boldma of Doan has already taken the mat and left the mat as we missed his match working on some other stuff as he finished off John Williams of Jamestown in 37 seconds. So the two-time GPAC Wrestler of the Year starts out with a quick pin at 141 to advance to the semifinals. Cray of Briarcliff currently leading Miller of Doan 2-1 on mat 3. Right now on mat 2, it's Andy Rojas of Hastings, Creighton Bauman of Concordia. Mat 1 is Jack Morton of Hastings and Nicholas Walters of Morningside. Our final semifinalists have been set at 125. As well as at 133. Those wrestlers will go tomorrow. After this round, we'll have the wrestlebacks, the consolation bracket of the tournament. So Miller has taken a 3-2 lead on mat 3. Cray He's going to get the escape. It's tied 3-3, and Cray has riding time. And Cray gets the quick takedown of Miller. So for Miller to win over on mat 3 for Doan, he would have to not only get the escape, but a takedown because of the riding time advantage for Cray. Bauman has taken a 2-0 lead on mat 2, and Walters leads 2-1 on mat 1. So Miller will have top control going into the third period, trailing 5-3. Bauman leading 2-0 on mat 2, and Walters leading 2-1 on mat 1. Now Walters in front, 4-2. And he's going to pick up the pin on mat 1. Cray in position on mat 3 with a 7-3 lead plus riding time to pick up an upset. So he's wrestling the 4th seed in Ben Miller. Bauman, the 2 seed, with a 2-0 lead in the second period on mat 2. Mat 1 is now Nate Lent of Doan, taking on Jake Patterson of Hastings. Lent with the early takedown. Bauman now up 4-0 on mat 2. Lent leading 4-0 on mat 1. On mat 3, we have Eric Williams of Dakota Wesley and Tyler Fouts of Briar Cliff. Still scoreless on mat 3, but now the 2 points awarded to Williams. Lent has a 10-2 lead on mat 1. Bauman, after the takedown, leads 6-0 on mat number 2. These are all quarterfinal matches. Winners advance to action tomorrow. We'll have consolation bracket action after this quarterfinal round. So Bauman wins to advance into the semifinals. So our 141 bracket is complete now for the semifinals. Lent leading 10-2 on mat 1. Mat 2 features Noah Parmalee of Northwestern, Tommy Berenger of Jamestown. And on mat 3, it's Eric Williams of Dakota Wesleyan, Tyler Fouts of Briar Cliff. Williams leading 2-0. Lent has added to his lead on mat 1. And you can catch updated brackets, also follow along with results, scoring on Track Wrestling. You can scan the QR code on your screen. We're going to go to the second period on mat 3. Berenger with the takedown on mat 2 to score first in that match. Lent with a 12-3 lead. As a stalemate is going to be called on mat 1. And Lent will work to the back. Lent looking to ride out Patterson in the second period. She's up 14-3. On mat 2, it's now 2-1 in favor of Berenger over Parmalee. Parmalee was victorious with a sudden victory takedown in the opening round. Now Williams with the pin on mat 3. He's the first to advance to the semifinals at 149. Next up will be Dalton Michael of Hastings and John Diener of Morningside. So all three mats right now will have the quarterfinals, our final three matches at 149. Lent leading 14-6, but Patterson now has top control on the top seed. Berenger leading Parmalee 5-1. And Diener and Michael getting ready to start on mat 3. Now a stalling point given to Patterson. Cuts the deficit in half. It's 14-7. As time will expire, so Lint will advance to the semifinals. Diener with the lead on mat number 3. Diener leading 6-0. Behringer leading 8-1. And now on mat 1, Noah Steiskell of Morningside, Gloria Smith of Concordia. Our first match at 157 is on mat 1. 149 for the other 2 matches. On mat 3, Diener leading 8-1. He's the defending champion at this weight class. Looking to punch the ticket to the semifinals tomorrow. Behringer leading 9-1 on mat 2. Also looking to advance to the semifinals at 149. And Diener gets the pin on mat 3. Tommy Clemsrud of Dakota Wesleyan will take on Tristan Zamilpa now on mat 3. Zamilpa with the takedown on mat 3. Steiskell looking for the takedown on mat 1. Still neutral. They're around the edge of the circle. Behringer looking for a rollover on mat 2. Trying to get some near fall points. His time is running out. Steiskell gets the takedown on mat 2. Vargas now leading 4-1. So Behringer advances to the semifinals. So 149 is now complete. Milpa circles around for a takedown. He leads 6-2 on mat 3. High School leading 2-0 on mat number 1. And Zamilpa picks up the pin. On mat 2, we now have Raymond Aranda and Tyler Johnson. Aranda of Midland, Johnson of Dakota Wesleyan. On mat 3, Isaiah Burks of Concordia, Garrett Arment of Briar Cliff. And Burks right away in position to get the takedown if he can circle over, gets the takedown now. Near fall points coming up. And a pin for Burks in 19 seconds. So that's an upset for Burks as he knocks off the 4 seed. High School leading 4-1 now on mat 1. Scoreless on mat 2. Mat 3 now has Brandon Harris of Briar Cliff, Xander Erst of Morningside. Erst the 2 seed. Had action for about an hour and a half. We're midway through the quarterfinals. And we'll wrestle till we're down to 8 wrestlers left in each bracket tonight. And then we'll be wrestling for titles tomorrow here inside Fred Biley Arena, Fear Field House on the campus of Doane University. In addition to the brackets, live results on the QR code that you see on your screen, you could also go to DoaneAthletics.com. If you go to the Doane Men's Wrestling schedule page, the meet program is also available there. That does include the brackets entering today with the current conference rankings, national rankings, photos of all those that are ranked in the GPAC top 6. So special thank you to all the sports information directors around the conference who provided information for this weekend's championships, photos, and so forth. Appreciate all that they do to help promote not only men's wrestling, but GPAC athletics year-round. It's a busy time of year with spring sports starting up. So shout out to all those SIDs out there who are putting in a lot of extra hours these days, especially during championship season. High School leading 7-2 on mat 1. We're still scoreless on mat 2. And Erst is leading on mat 3. Steiskol will win on mat number 1. The top seed advances. Now we'll have Tommy Wentz and Micah Lanier of Briar Cliff. Miranda with the takedown. Take a 2-1 lead on mat number 2 just before time expired. So a big takedown by Aranda. This is our second competition inside Fear Fieldhouse, Fred Biley Arena this season. Earlier this year we had the Connor Oppenheim Doan Open. And you know, Paul Oppenheim is watching online today. So Paul, thank you for all you've done for men's wrestling and women's wrestling here at Doan. Your support is not unnoticed, and we do appreciate everything. First will add to his lead on mat 3 just before time expired. On mat 2, Tommy Wentz has taken a 2-0 lead over Micah Lanier of Briar Cliff. And Raymond Aranda of Midland holding on to a 2-1 lead over Tyson Johnson on mat 2. Johnson trying to get the escape. They're going to go out of bounds on mat 2. So they restart in neutral position on mat 2. On mat 1, we have Tommy Wentz in top control. And on mat 3, Xander Ernst has the top control over there. Time running out in mat 2. Johnson trying to get the late takedown, but he's going to be unsuccessful as time will expire. And Aranda will advance. He goes into the semifinals. He'll take on Steiskol tomorrow. So on mat 1, we have Wentz leading over Lanier. Wentz trying to move into the semifinals at 157. We got matches on. We got Ernst winning at mat 3, so he advances. So on mat 3, we have Garrett Mosier of Concordia, Jacob Frankson Small of Northwestern. That's a 174 battle on mat 3. Mat 2 is Caleb Connor of Morningside, Cole Moshman of Hastings. That's a 165 match. And again, 157 is Tommy Wentz, Michael Lanier. That's a 157 match. And a quick pin by Connor. Top seed goes into the semifinals. So on mat 2, well, the top seed Chinggis Surma of Doan taking on Karsten. I'm going to make sure I get Karsten's last name correct. Karsten Tater of Jamestown. Nice jump over by Surma to pick up his second takedown early on. Gives up the escape. Wentz leading 6-0 on mat number 1. We're going to go neutral on mat 2. On mat 3, Frankson Small with a 4-0 lead. Surma with the takedown, leads 8-3. Right now just playing a little catch and release. Another takedown and another escape allowed. Surma now rolling up the near fall points. Closing in on the pin as well on mat 2. Our ref on mat 2 accidentally stopping the match, thinking it had reached tech fall status, but it was a point shy. So Surma allows the escape on the restart, or before the restart. Now just needs a takedown to end it. Wentz was a 10-0 winner on mat 1. Surma has the tech fall win. So the top seed advances at 174. On mat 1, we have Benjamin Dobler of Doan, Caleb Bigelow of Dakota Wesleyan. That's going to be a good match to keep an eye on. Frankson Small, the 9-0 lead over on mat 3. So semifinals are set at 157 now. Dobler and Bigelow on mat 1. These two have not wrestled this year. The first meeting over there on mat 1. On mat 2, the Logan Davidson of Concordia, Connor Rinn of Midland, a 184 match. Dobler with the takedown, looking for the pin. And on mat 3, Brinson Small with the pin as he advances. He'll wrestle Surma tomorrow. So on mat 3, it's now going to be Lane Miller, the 3 seed, taking on Michael Scarponi. So Miller of Dakota Wesleyan, Scarponi of Doane. I'm not mistaken, these two wrestled back in December right here. And I believe on that first mat, Scarponi with the takedown. Miller defeated Scarponi 5-4 back in December, but today it is Scarponi with the pin on mat 3, taking out the 3 seed. So on mat 1, Dobler and Bigelow. It's a 2-1 lead for Dobler. Now it's 2-2 following the escape. Davidson of Concordia advancing with a pin on mat 2. So on mat 2, Bradley Antisberger of Doane, Jose Sanchez of Northwestern. Antisberger the top seed. On mat 3, it's Garrett Cornwell of Doane, Stephen Duffy of Concordia. So we're tied 2-2. And now Bigelow will get the takedown on mat 1. Antisberger with the takedown on mat 2 to take a 2-0 lead. And on mat 3, Duffy leading 2-1. Now Cornwell was near a takedown. Didn't get it. So we're tied at 4 on mat 1. And turn our attention to mat 1 as they're in the final period. Minute 40 to go. Bigelow and Dobler locked up at 4 on mat 1. Inside a minute to go. Close matches all the way around here in the quarterfinals. Dobler single leg looking for the takedown. Still doesn't have the credit for it. Inside 20 to go. Dobler holding on, trying not to give up the back. And now 2 points going to be awarded to Bigelow. And Bigelow will ride it out. So Bigelow with the upset. The late takedown. So on mat 2, Antisberger and Sanchez. Antisberger has the 5-3 lead, now 6-3. Cornwell trailing Duffy on mat 3, 4-3. He'll shoot. Duffy able to fight it off. They're going to go out of bounds. Antisberger looking for the takedown on mat 2. Staying with it, big throwdown. Now up 8-3. On mat 1, it's going to be Jose Sanchez of Concordia, Alex Van Dyke of Morningside. That's a 174 quarterfinal match. Inside 15 seconds to go on mat 2 and mat 3. Antisberger looking for a pinning opportunity, but unable to roll Sanchez to his back. So we're going to go to the third periods on mats 2 and 3. Mat 1, about midway through the first, a scoreless period so far. Duffy has a single leg, looking for the takedown on mat 3. Cornwell trying to fight him off. Does, so no points there. Duffy leading 5-3. Antisberger looking for the double leg takedown, gets it. on mat 2. Van Dyke looking for the takedown on mat 1. They're going to roll out of bounds, though. So Cornwell needs a takedown and then also needs to get rid of some of the riding time that Duffy has picked up if he wants to advance, because Duffy would pick up a point for riding time at this point. He's got a minute 13. Cornwell went for the double leg, didn't get it. Now it's Duffy going for the takedown. You can hear the fan excitement over on mat 3. Down to 20 seconds. Cornwell again gets the takedown. Nope, not yet. Duffy fought it off well. Duffy's gonna get the win here. Looking for the late takedown. He's caught in a headlock. They're gonna give Duffy the takedown as time expires. So Duffy, the 4 seed, advances. So now on mat 3 will be Caleb Lind of Northwestern, Colton Hink of Dakota Wesleyan. Brad Antisberger picking up the win on mat 2. So now on mat 2 will be Colton Kameyer of Midland. Jake Rao of Jamestown. And still in mat 1, it's Jose Sanchez of Concordia, Alex Van Dyke of Morningside. Van Dyke has a 4-1 lead. So we go to the third period on mat 1. Van Dyke leading 4-1. Scoreless on mats 2 and 3. Those are first period matches. Rao has taken a lead of 2-0 on mat 2. Takedown over on mat number 3 by Lind of Northwestern. Van Dyke leads 5-1 on mat 1. Kmeyer gets the escape on mat 2. It's 2-1 Rao. Championship weekend here in Nebraska with the GPAC Wrestling Championships right here in Crete. Up the road in Seward is the GPAC Track and Field Championships. Final weekend of conference basketball is this weekend. Several big games, including the ones here in Crete between Doane and Briar Cliff tomorrow. Van Dyke is going to advance. The 2 seed is through. Our 174 bracket is now complete. So on mat 1, we have Hayden Wempen of Morningside, Tristan Rogers of Jamestown. Wempen is the number 2 seed. Luke Jennis of Northwestern, the 1 seed, received a medical forfeit win for his first match. So Wempen and Rogers, the final match to decide the 184 bracket semifinalist. Rogers takes the early lead on mat 1. Kmeyer has a 4-2 lead on mat 2 as they'll head to the 3rd period. And Lind has a lead on mat number 3. Now Wempen has taken a 3-2 lead on mat 1. Now tied 3-3. This is Wempen's first match of the day as he had a bye in the opening round. Rogers picked up a victory in his opening round match over Trevor Sagnus of Northwestern. Kmeyer with a takedown on mat 2 to extend his lead. Lynn leading 3-1 on mat number 3. Lynn looking for a step over on mat 3. And he does get to the back for 2 points. So Lind leading 5-1 now on mat 3. On mat 1, it's Wempen leading 7-5 now. Kameyer picks up the win on mat 2. So Kameyer will face Antisberger tomorrow. On mat 2 now, Declan Gaden of Jamestown, MJ Montgomery of Briarcliff. Early on, Montgomery with the lead. Lind will pick up the win on mat 3. So mat 2 is our final quarterfinal match of 197. The match on mat 1 is the final one for 184. On mat 3, we have Matheson Rodriguez of Hastings, Brandon Antisberger of Doane. It's a heavyweight match. So Antisberger will be the first to try and advance to the semifinals, as well as Rodriguez. Obviously, the winner goes to the semis. Antisberger has a single leg, picks up Matheson, carries him up on his shoulder, and lays him down for 2. Montgomery takedown over on mat 2. Wempen has extended his lead to 11-7 now. 20 seconds to go in the second. Now another takedown for Wempen. Antisberger leading 6-0 on mat 3. Montgomery up 8-1 on mat 2. And Wempen up 13-7 on mat 1. Antisberger again looking for near fall points as well as a pin. He does have the 4 near fall points, and he's going to get the pin instead. So Antisberger, the first at heavyweight to go to the semis. So now on mat 3, Travion Sample from Dakota Wesleyan. Zeph Seivels of Midland has taken on Sample of Dakota Wesleyan over there on mat 3. Heavyweight match. Cleaning up a little bit of blood on mat 1. So one of the top wrestlers in the nation, Cristela Rodriguez, helping out here today. She was out there helping clean up some of that blood. Rodriguez either going to be contending at 123 or 130 next week at the KCAC Championships. Again, GPAC teams that have women's wrestling are members of the KCAC for women's wrestling. Next year, there will be 6 teams in the GPAC that will have women's wrestling with the addition of Morningside. So Wempen has a secure lead, 16-7 over on mat 1. They're inside 45 seconds now of the third period. We have a handful of quarterfinal matches still to go. And we'll have consolation bracket matches. And we'll take ourselves down until we have another 4 remaining in each bracket. We got 4 on the semifinal side. We need 4 on the consolation side to give us 8 going into the day 2 tomorrow at 10 a.m. right here inside Fred Biley Arena, Fuhr Fieldhouse on the campus of Doane University. Sample with the 2-1 lead on mat 3. Montgomery leading 9-1 on mat 2, rolling up a lot of riding time. So he'll secure that win unless something crazy happens in the last minute. And Wempen, with 12 seconds to go, looks like he's set to pick up the victory to close out the 184 bracket semifinalist. So Wempen into the semis. Gaydon of Jamestown looking for one last push, about 15 seconds to go. Went for the leg, came up empty, and Montgomery will get the takedown out of it, and he'll advance. 197 now complete for our semifinalist. So it's now heavyweights. Ben Ingley of Northwestern, Hunter DeYoung of Morningside now on mat 1. Mat 2 is going to feature Lincoln Siebert of Northwestern and Jacob Garabek of Morningside. So our final quarterfinal matches of this GPAC Championships. Seibels leads now it's 3-3. Over there on mat 3. You like up and close action right there on mat 1. He had it, and mat 2 is not much different. The wrestlers getting right up in front of where our cameras are located and right next to the mat. Good view there on mat 2 of a potential pin. There it is. So Jerabek into the semifinals. DeYoung into the semifinal, or excuse me, DeYoung is on mat 1. My eyes got caught on mat 2. Again, we have Morningside Northwestern going against each other on 2 mats. So DeYoung holds a 2-0 lead on Ben Ingley on mat 1. We're going to go consolation bracket on mat 2 here momentarily. Mat 3 is the final heavyweight matchup. It's 5-4 in favor of Seibels. Heavyweights getting after it on mat 3. It's 5-4. Seibels in front from Midland. Trying to knock off Sample from Dakota Wesleyan. Sample is the 4 seed. Ten seconds to go. Sample shoots. A stalling warning called on Midland. That's going to tie it up at 5, I believe. Haven't seen the point added to the scoreboard. There it is. There was a stalling warning called against Seibels of Midland, and so Sample ties it up at 5 as they're going to go to overtime on mat 3. DeYoung leading on mat number 1, 3-0. And now a consolation match, 125. Elijah Barajas of Jamestown, Austin Pimentel of Midland on mat 2. So overtime over on mat 3. That's where we're going to keep our attention right now. Minute left in the first overtime on mat 3. We'll see who's able to try and strike first on mat 3. Shoot by Sample. Came up empty. .20 to go on mat 3. Single leg by Seibels, unable to hold on to it. Two men looking exhausted right now. So a scoreless overtime. Now we're going to deal with blood, I believe, on mat 3. DeYoung leading 7-0 on mat 1, so it looks like he's going to secure that one. Trying to punch his ticket to the semifinals, and we'll have a good matchup tomorrow. Brandon Antisberger and Hunter DeYoung looking like they're going to meet up once again. Those two wrestled up in Sioux City at the GPAC Duels, with Antisberger picking up a win. So it's DeYoung into the semis. Our final semifinal match is the one that's in overtime on mat 3. So Sample gets the escape in this 32nd period. If our score remains where it is, Seibels will start in the down position for another 32nd period. If Seibels were to get a quick takedown, just doesn't look like it's going to happen. That would have ended it. So now Seibels will start down. He needs to escape from Sample to even up this match. Up to his feet, but back down to a knee. Sample throws Seibels back down. .15 seconds to go. Seibels on his feet, trying to find a way to escape. And we almost had a reversal. Escape is given. And they're going to remain tied after the 30-second exchange. And now a point awarded to Sample, and he's the one that's going to advance to the semifinals. So 285 is now complete. So it's consolation brackets now. On mat 1, Cy Rennie of Concordia, Angel Garcia of Hastings. Mat 2 just went complete. That was Austin Pimentel of Midland picking up the pin. Now it's Ben Miller of Doane, Cade Braun of Northwestern. And on mat 3, Devin Evidisian of Doane, Grant Wells of Concordia. Injury timeout on mat 1, or excuse me, mat 2. On mat 1, Garcia of Hastings leading 6-0. Fortunately, it looks like Braun might be done following the injury, and he will be. So Miller is going to advance from Doane at 141. So now on mat 2, it's going to be Johnny Burnett of Northwestern, Jack Morton of Hastings. So our semifinals and consolation bracket for 125 is set for tomorrow. The Vargas of Doane versus Lugo of Briar Cliff in the first semifinal. Nama of Briar Cliff and Shell of Morningside in the second semifinal. In the consolation bracket, it'll be Pimentel of Midland against Buxett of Midland. And then it'll be Farron of Dakota Wesleyan against Carlin of Concordia. So 125, final 8 have already been determined. Garcia with the win by pin on mat 1. So that'll bring up Christian Mazzell and Jared Gilman. Mazzell of Hastings, Gilman of Briar Cliff on mat 1. Burnett with a 2-1 lead over Morton on mat 2. Northwestern versus Hastings there. And on mat 3, we're scoreless between Avedisian and Wells. Avedisian of Doane, Wells of Concordia. So it remains scoreless on mat 3, and they're going to go to the third period. Avedisian will start down. And Avedisian strikes first with the escape. In-your-face action on mat 2. Nice tight view near the camera. 3-2 lead for Morton. Avedisian leading 1-0 on mat 3. And Gilliam of Briar Cliff, they held the 14-0 lead in the first period on mat 1. .30 seconds to go on mat 3. Gilliam with the win on mat 1. Stalling warning on Avedisian is first. But time going to expire. Avedisian will advance. Our next match on mat 3 will be our final match of 133 for today. Jace Goebel of Jamestown and Benjamin Schmitz of Morningside. So I'll determine our final 133 match. So Burnett with the 4-3 lead on mat 2. Zach Zytek, Dakota Wesleyan, taking on John Williams of Jamestown. Zytek leading 2-0 on mat 1. Right now we're looking to punch our final tickets for 133, which is at mat 3, and 141, which is on mats 1 and 2. These are the consolation matches to get to the final 8 wrestlers for tomorrow. Looks like they're cleaning up some blood over on mat 3. Schmitz, 2-point takedown on mat 3. The first points there. Zytek leading 6-0 on mat 1. And Burnett leading 6-3 on mat number 2. Jones now on the board. Actually, that was Zytek picking up the escape point, so it's 7-0. Burnett will advance with a 6-3 win, 7-3 with the riding time. Schmitz has a 6-0 lead over on mat 3. Bracket at 141 is now complete. We'll have Boldma of Doane versus Walters of Morningside in the first semifinal tomorrow. And then Cray of Briar Cliff against Bauman of Concordia in the second one. And in the consolation bracket, it will be Rojas of Hastings against Miller of Doane. And then Burnett of Northwestern against Zytek of Dakota Wesleyan. Our 141 bracket set for tomorrow. So on mat number 1, we have Micah Lanier of Briar Cliff, Brody Hobertson of Northwestern. Mat 2 is Dalton Michael of Hastings, Javins Kadoris of Concordia. And right now, on mat 3, Benjamin Schmitz holding on to an 8-0 lead. It's 8-2 now. Robertson picking up the victory over on mat 1. Schmitz will drive his opponent out of bounds on mat 3. Again, closing in on the victory. Mat 1, we got Benjamin Dobler of Doan, Cody Hahn of Midland. Dobler with the takedown. Skidoris, healthy lead on mat 2. Now Schmitz with the victory. That will wrap up the 133 for today. So tomorrow it's Vasquez of Morningside versus Ahole of Hastings in one semifinal. Atzek Dorr of Dakota Wesleyan against Watson of Briar Cliff in the other semifinal. The consolations, it will be Henny of Northwestern against Avedisian of Doan, and Schmitz of Morningside against Gilliam of Briar Cliff. So that's 133. On the mat now at mat 3 is Tyler Fouts of Briar Cliff, Stephen Aranda of Midland. It's a 149 match. Skidoris with a 16-3 lead on mat 2. Dobler, another takedown. He's now up 4-1 on mat 1. And on mat 3, still scoreless through the first minute. So Skidoris advances. Next up on mat 2, the Deegan Lynn of Jamestown and Jake Patterson of Hastings. So we'll have our final 149 matches on the mat to close out today. 157 is already set. And we're at 165 right now on mat 1. Dobler leading 4-2 on mat 1. Patterson leading 2-0 on mat 2. And Fouts leading 2-1 on mat 3. Dobler with the takedown. Pinning situation right in front of our camera. But Hahn able to roll over, prevent the pin. 4 near fall points as well for Dobler, so he's got a 10-2 lead. blood stoppage on mat 2 at the moment. Dobler leading 10-3 on mat 1. We're tied at 2 on mat 3. I'll give a shout out to all the athletic trainers helping out here this weekend. Student trainers and Doan's men's and women's wrestlers are helping a variety of activities as well. Cleaning up the mat from blood and running the track wrestling scores tables. Takedown by Aranda on mat 3. Mat 1, an escape by Hahn. Little step under by Lynn. Patterson trying to fight it off and now looking to get to the back as well. Dobler leading 12-5 on mat 1. Patterson 8-1 on mat 2. And Aranda 4-2 on mat 3. Nice reversal by Patterson. So Dobler with the win at mat 1. So that finishes off the 165 bracket for today. So tomorrow, Connor of Morningside versus Burks of Concordia in the first semifinal. Bigelow of Dakota Wesleyan, Ernst of Morningside in the second semifinal. In the first consolation tomorrow, we'll have Harris of Briarcliff against Dobler of Doane. And the second semifinalist, consolation match will be Arment of Briarcliff against Moshman of Hastings. Now on mat 1, it's Connor Wren against Deontay Taylor. Wren of Midland, Taylor of Jamestown. On mat 3, we have Lane Miller taking on Lane Miller of Dakota Wesleyan against Colton Horn of Midland. Patterson with a 10-3 lead on mat 2. We're looking to close out the 149 bracket for the day. Miller leading on mat 3. Taylor leading on mat 1. At 157 tomorrow. That bracket's already complete. Steiskell of Morningside against Aranda of Midland in the first semifinal. Wentz of Concordia, Zamilpa of Doane in the second semifinal. In the consolation, the Clemensrud of Dakota Wesleyan against Eversting of Northwestern. And then Johnson of Dakota Wesleyan taking on Smith of Concordia. So Patterson advances. So at 149 tomorrow will be Lint of Doane against Behringer of Jamestown in the first semifinal. Second semifinal will be Williams of Dakota Wesleyan against Diener of Morningside. Consolation bracket, Skidoris of Concordia against Aranda of Midland. And then the other one, it will be Parmalee of Northwestern against Patterson of Hastings. So at the moment, we have Miller leading 6-0 on mat 3. On mat 1, it's Taylor leading 8-2. We got some blood cleanup on mat 2 before we get our next match going, which will be Keenan Griffin of Hastings and Garrett Mosier of Concordia. So Miller out to a 12-1 lead on mat 3. Still 14-3 on mat 1. And Mosier is going to pick up the win on mat 2. Close to the final 8 at 174. Just need the final match on mat 3 to close out. So 174 is set with Miller winning. So 174 bracket for tomorrow. Semifinals, Surma of Doane, Frankson Small of Northwestern in the first semi, and then it'll be Scarponi of Doane against Van Dyke of Morningside in the second semifinal. The consolation, it'll be Sanchez of Concordia against Miller of Dakota Wesleyan. Second one will be Mosier of Concordia against Tager of Jamestown. So Taylor leading 15-5 on mat 1. Mat 2 is Civils of Midland and Howell of Jamestown. And mat 3 is Siebert of Northwestern against Johnston of Midland. So Midland with a wrestler on each mat. Jamestown on mats 1 and 2, and then Northwestern on mat 3. So mat 1, Taylor closing in on moving into tomorrow's action. Then we'll have one more 184 match. I believe 197 is already set. Get my bracket updated here. Our bracket for tomorrow, 197. Antisberger of Doane against Kammeyer of Midland in the first semifinal. Lind of Northwestern versus Montgomery of Briar Cliff in the second semifinal. In the consolation, it'll be Gaydon of Jamestown against Hink of Dakota Wesleyan. And then it will be Rao of Jamestown against Sanchez of Northwestern. So now on mat 1, it'll be Garrett Cornwell of Doane, Peyton Plansky of Dakota Wesleyan, looking to make the final, or add the final person into the 184 bracket. We got 2 heavyweights on the mat and a 184. So we're getting close to ending our first day of action. Takedown by Seibels on mat 2. Johnston picking up riding time on mat 3, but a still scoreless match. And Cornwell has a 2-1 lead on mat 1. So 2 more matches still to go after the 3 on the mat. Those will both be heavyweight matches. A 1-0 lead for Johnston. It looks like Garcia is going to get the medical forfeit win over his teammate, Rodriguez. So mat 2 is done, I believe. Actually, there's a Northwestern guy heading out, so let's see, that might be the Engie versus Allen match that was set to go on mat 1. And that's going to be a switch of mats for that one. So mat 2 is going to have Allen of Briarcliff, Engie of Northwestern. So Johnston wins over on mat 3. He advances. So mat 3 is done for today. So we're down to mats 1 and 2. Cornwell leading 3-1 on mat number 1. Time will expire, so they're going to go to the third period. And Polanski will start in the down position. And we have Allen of Briarcliff and Ingley of Northwestern on mat 2. So now a 1-point lead for Cornwell after the escape. We're going to have a challenge on mat 2, so that's going to lead to a delay. So the challenge on mat 2 going to result in a no takedown, no escape, so it should be 0-0, I believe. Cornwell advancing at 184. So now that we're down to 1 mat, tell you what, folks, we're going to just take you to mat 2. So your 4 matches for 184 tomorrow. In the semifinals, Genesis of Northwestern against Duffy of Concordia, and then Davidson of Concordia against Wempen of Morningside. In the consolation bracket, it will be Rogers of Jamestown against Taylor of Jamestown. And it'll be Cornwell of Doane against Sagnas of Northwestern. So for the heavyweights tomorrow, Antisberger of Doane against DeYoung of Morningside, Sample of Dakota Wesleyan against Jerebeck of Morningside. And then in the consolation bracket, it's Johnston of Midland against Civil of Midland. And then it'll be Garcia against the winner of our last match, which is Allen and Ingley. So we're going to go to the second period, a scoreless match. Allen will have top position for Briar Cliff. Ingley for Northwestern in the bottom. Ingley to his feet, but he's going to be run out of bounds by Allen. A stalling warning called. And we'll be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Ingley with the escape. So he strikes first with the escape point. We have a minute to go. Ingley looked like he was going for a throw. Allen ends up on top, gets the 2-point takedown. Now another escape, so we're tied at 2. And Allen will have the choice in the third period of top, bottom, or neutral. Allen is going to take the down position. Begley looking to get Allen back down to his stomach, does so. Trying to see if he can't roll him over. Allen has had his hands locked, now to his feet. Begley with a nice pull back down of Allen. Down to 75 seconds in this period. And Allen will get the escape, so he has the lead. Riding time not a factor. So Begley will need a takedown. Allen has had a stalling warning, so he still has to stay on the attack. Close to being able to circle around, but Egley able to get both hands on that big leg. And a stalemate called. Egley shoots, has a single leg. 20 seconds to go. A nice circle around by Allen to get the 2 points. He leads 5-2. Egley with the escape. Takedown attempt, and Egley slipped, and Allen fell on top, and he'll pick up the 7-3 win. So Allen will face Garcia tomorrow in the final match of the heavyweights in the consolation bracket. So our final match of the day is complete. That'll do it for us here inside Fred Biley Arena for day number 1 of the 2023 Great Plains Athletic Conference Wrestling Championships. Again, we'll be back on the air tomorrow. 10 a.m. is the scheduled first match. So we invite you to tune in and check out the action tomorrow right here from Crete, Nebraska. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday afternoon.